And we are back with another Mary Truth Talks podcast. Thank you guys so much for supporting everybody that's already subscribed. Thank you so much. It's because of you guys why we're doing this, and we're going to continue to grow. But of course, we need your support. I recently found out from a friend of mine who I can't say his name because he works for BlackRock. Shout out to you. You know who you are. He did inform me that I am being shadow banned on Instagram. No shocker. You know, when you say things that actually matter, big tech doesn't want you to, reach thousands of millions of people. So I need the help of you guys to actually repost my stuff. Follow me on Instagram. That's Mary_Truth with an S. And we also have another platform where I'm building it with my partner. It's like a wellness Netflix that we're creating together. It's called Mind Body Elevation. Follow that as well. Instagram, that's MB Elevates. All right. Thank you guys. And let's begin. So today's going to be an interesting podcast because, as you can tell, I have no guests with me. It's just me by myself ranting and talking about current events. So I want to talk to you guys about what's been going on for the past 2 weeks because it's wild. It's wild, guys. I also want to give you guys a heads up. The debate for Kamala Harris, I call it that, Kamala. It's, if you're Cuban, you know what Kamala means, like bad. So Kamala Harris and Trump, they're going to have a debate for the first and probably only time. It's going to be, I believe, on Tuesday of next week. So I am going to be streaming. If you guys want to watch that debate on my stream, you're welcome to join in. I'm just giving you the heads up now. So let's begin. Let's dive into our first story, guys. So this is interesting. This is kind of proving that big tech is not on our side. But in this case, it's a little interesting because this big tech is actually a victim of policing. So we all know that I think it's been already a month, right, since Telegram chief Durov has been arrested in France. So are we already showing the... Yep. All right, cool. So you guys see it. Awesome. So this guy, we all know he's like the creator of Telegram. We all know that Telegram's an encrypted site where, people post whatever the hell they want there. So they arrested him, right, because they're claiming that, he's allowing people to do illegal stuff on his site. And there's something that he said that really hit home for me. And I want to read it to you guys. Using laws from the pre-smartphone era to charge a CEO with crimes committed by third parties on the platform he manages is a misguided approach, he wrote. Building technology is hard enough as it is. No innovator will ever build new tools if they know they can be personally held responsible for potential abuse of those tools. And that is 100%, that's based, man. Because, think about it. If you're going to create something, in his case, a platform where people can use, it's a tool just like a gun, just like anything else, and people are using it for bad, how is that his fault? It's the same concept with guns. The creator of guns created guns. Obviously, you shoot to hurt, right? You shoot to defend, you shoot to kill. But it doesn't mean that the creator of the gun should be in prison for the rest of their life because he created a gun. It's the same concept. So to me, there's so many wrong things about this. First of all, you are imprisoning somebody that's an entrepreneur who's built jobs creating this platform. Second of all, people have no problem with Telegram. The people that use Telegram. The people that have a problem with Telegram is the authorities. So the government are the ones that have a problem with Telegram. So I think it's interesting how there's a video of him talking to Tucker about 4 months ago. I really recommend you guys check it out. I think we have it here. I think I emailed it to you, Laz.
Which one?
The last email I sent you, it should be there.
Oh. I got it.
Yeah. Check that. Let's check that out really quick.
There is no reason.
Okay, go to 1920. The time, 1920.
All right, hold on. 1920.
Yeah. This is the exact example of police state I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. We're still learning how to use this thing.
There we go.
not surprising. It's offensive. You're confident that happened?
Yes. There is no reason for my engineer to make up the stories. Also because I personally experienced similar pressure in the US. Whenever I would go to the US, I would have two FBI agents greeting me at the airport, asking questions. One time I was having my breakfast at like 9 a.m. and the FBI showed up at my house that I was renting. And that was quite surprising. And I thought, we're getting too much attention here. It's probably not the best environment to run.
Why would had you committed a crime?
No, they were interested to learn more about Telegram. They knew I, left Russia. They knew what we were doing, but they wanted details. And my understanding is that they wanted to establish a relationship to, in a way, control Telegram better. I understand they were doing their job. It's just that for us running a privacy-focused social media platform, that probably wasn't the best environment to be in. We want to be focused on what we do.
So you guys get the gist. So this guy's been followed by the feds, by authorities for a minute now because he is a threat to the police state that we've been living in for some time. And we've been living in this police state since the Bush era. I mean, we all know that after 9/11, we got the whole, what's that? I already forgot what the name of it is.
What?
When they were allowed to search us, what was that called? I forgot what the name of it.
When they were allowed to search us?
Yeah, like when 9/11 came, they passed this bill.
Oh.
What is it called?
Patriot Act.
There you go. I'm like, it's in my mind. It's not kicking in. All right, so they got the Patriot Act when they claimed that the Patriot Act was to protect us, and at the end of the day, it wasn't to protect us. It was to surveillance us. And then from there, Obama kind of just made it even worse with the police state. He tried to police the internet, which I will be doing a video on that very soon. And then, of course, when Trump came, that kind of got a little derailed, because that wasn't part of the plan. He was not supposed to win. He's not part of the establishment, which I'll be talking about that in this video as well. And then, of course, when Biden came into office, we went back to the police state, but it went full throttle with Biden Harris in office. So this is an exact example of big tech, in this case, being the victim of police and big government. In fact, from that clip alone, I felt like what he was trying to say was they were trying to create a relationship with me. That way, like, they can control me in the future. And that's kind of what happened with Mark Zuckerberg. That's why Mark Zuckerberg recently admitted, I don't know if you guys are aware, but he recently admitted that, yes, he did allow the Biden-Harris administration to pretty much censor people during, the pandemic, which we all know that was what was happening. But of course, the media, which is mainly left, they didn't want to admit that to be true, which is why you can't trust the media, mainstream media, because they're all left. The only media that's not technically left, that's super right, which I don't agree with 100% either, is Fox. And then you have like these middleman medias, but they're not as humongous as CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all these other big media companies. So I want to move on now because this correlates to a newer story that's coming up now. All right, we're going to go on a quick break. What happened? turns out that we have to get permission to use videos because Instagram, well, it's technically they're all on the same team, but YouTube does not allow you to use videos without people's consent. So apparently I would have to send a message to Tucker and ask him, hey, can I use your video real quick? Even though I don't think he would care because he wants more people to be aware of the police state. But I guess YouTube doesn't. Excuse my, I need water. Give me a second. All right. All right, guys. So the fact that they arrested this Russian guy is kind of suspect because, like, if they can arrest him, why haven't they, like, arrested, Marky Mark, There's plenty of evidence that Mark Zuckerberg is allowing pedophilia and child pornography and all that jazz in his account. I mean, I remember there's literal women prostituting themselves on Instagram, and that is allowed. So I don't understand why that's any different than Telegram, which is not like Instagram, where it's literally like videos and pictures. It's literally like WhatsApp. Just, kind of different, but the same thing. I don't know. I think there's a double standard. I don't like the fact that a lot of people think that it's perfectly fine for this guy to have gotten arrested. Like, I think that people are missing the point. If this guy, who is a billionaire, is being attacked by the police state, what does that mean for people like us that are regular people? That's the mentality I think we ought to have in this day and age, is that we should not accept the federal government policing big companies that advertise free speech on their platforms. Because if we start to accept that, then what we're doing is we're diminishing what the First Amendment stands for. And even though this guy is Russian, and obviously, like, he was raised in a different country altogether, but at the end of the day, he still believes in free speech, just like Elon. So speaking of Elon, let's nicely, smoothly transition to what's going on with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is going through some ban in Brazil. You got that pulled up already, boss?
Yep,
cool.
right here.
All right. So this happened last week? This happened very recently. This week or last week, that Brazil decided to ban anybody that uses X, Twitter, whatever. And if they get caught using it, they get a fine for, like, I don't know how many, like, I think it's like 1,000 something, or some like ridiculous amount of money for using a platform that was allowed to be used before Elon Musk bought it. So I think it's interesting, and the timing is insane, how the owner of Telegram gets arrested in France, right, for supposedly allowing illegal things to happen in his platform, to then Brazil banning Twitter, which is now owned by Elon Musk. And now that it's owned by Elon Musk, it's actually now an open, free speech, absolutist platform, which is what it should have always been. And not only that, it's funny because Brazil was supposed to be a democratic country, but I don't think a democratic country would allow this to even happen. A democratic country should be open to free speech. And Brazil has shown that it obviously isn't. So it's shown that it's extremely authoritarian if you're not allowing your own citizens to voice their critiques about their government. And there is a really good quote that I actually quoted from RFK recently, and I posted it on Married Truth, and they got a lot of views for just one story. See if I actually have it here. This quote is meant to be quoted 1,000 times because it has so much depth, and it's very simple.
What do you say?
Hold on, I'm gonna look for it. If I can find it, that'd be great. Lately, my
I can pull it up here.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, here it is. I got it. Hold on. I got it. It's here somewhere. Damn, bro. Did Instagram not? I don't know why when I post, it's not saving the post on my phone, bro. Instagram has been like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of out of words with IG. I'm gonna see if I can remember it because from memory. He says a government that does not allow its citizens. No, a government that silences its critics have a license for atrocity or something like that. Something along those lines. He said that recently in like this like live town hall podcast he did with Vivek Ramaswamy and Tucker, which I recommend you guys watching. It's really good. Are you looking for that quote? Yeah, he said it recently. He said it like literally this week. I just don't know why. I saved it on my phone and it does not want to show me. I should have it here in Instagram, but it doesn't pop up. Yeah. Tell me how all these things that I've saved are not actually saving, which I find interesting. I thought they save. Yeah, like I have a bunch of posts that are just blank. When I save them on my from Instagram to my actual gallery, they don't save, which I think is interesting. It's once again, I think, big tech censoring us. So we got Brazil censoring Elon Musk. And then when Elon Musk did that like phone call podcast thing with Trump, I believe it was I'm not sure who on earth from Europe threatened Elon Musk and said like, oh, if you allow him to go on your platform and talk, then you're going to have some problems with us or some BS. Like, it was definitely a threat. And it's like, dude, why are you so against somebody that you don't agree with talking about whatever they want to talk about? If I don't agree with somebody, I should still want them to speak about what they believe, because that's the whole point of freedom of speech. It defeats the purpose if you are policing and patrolling what correct speech is or what freedom of speech is. It's called freedom of speech, meaning you are free to speak your mind. It's that plain and simple. It's not rocket science. So I want to switch to establishment versus anti-establishment. There's a video with Eric Weinstein where he talks with Patrick Bet-David. Not that one. That's Joe Rogan. It's the video before that one.
Oh.
From the beginning to 5:38.
Face Off.
You might not be able to.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We can't see this because they don't let you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
If it's I think if it's like major news outlets like Fox, I think we're good. We'll have to try it out with the Kamala one. But when it's like personal podcasts or personal channels, that's when it gives us a strike.
Okay.
It'll block the stream.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just talk about it and then you guys can go watch it. I highly recommend you do. So it's Eric Weinstein talking to what's that guy's name?
This guy, the Marine.
And a system in place.
No, he's not a Marine.
Chris Williamson.
Okay, yeah, he's European. Okay, so Chris Williamson, he's a really known podcaster now, and he's talking to Eric Weinstein. Eric Weinstein was a lifelong Democrat. I believe he's also a scholar. If I'm not mistaken, he's also he's a mathematician. So this guy, it was extremely lefty until the left went too far, and he's now completely left the Democratic Party, just like RFK, Tulsi Gabbard. There's a bunch of other Democrats that are leaving. So what this guy says in that clip that I wanted to show you guys was that a lot of people believe I had this conversation with somebody recently. A lot of people believe that that the voting doesn't matter. And the reason why we believe that is because the establishment has been in control for a very long time. So that's why history is so important, because if you don't know history, then you have no idea what establishment versus anti-establishment is. So the establishment has been around for such a long time that it's given us the illusion of democracy. So a lot of people that see that are going to be extremely skeptical, and that's where that belief of the voting doesn't matter. You know, it's all about the electoral college, but at the end of the day, if you don't vote, then there really is no electoral college. So a lot of people have this like nihilist doom and gloom mentality that your vote doesn't matter. Democracy is, you know, the illusion of choice or whatever. And yeah, that was true until 2016 when Trump won. Trump was not supposed to win. Like, if you were to go back a lot, I don't know if you guys recall, because we were younger, you know, we were like, fresh out of high school still at that time. So we weren't super involved in politics 2016. But if you guys don't remember, they swore that Hillary Clinton was going to win. Like, they all were like they were all acting before they said who won that she had already won. Like, the media, left media specifically, was already like celebrating her win when it hadn't even happened yet. So when he won, everybody was in shock because he was not supposed to win. So it proved, which is what Eric Weinstein is saying in such a scholarly way. He's saying that it proves that by Trump winning, that there is a hole in the establishment. It's not 100% locked down like we thought it was for all these years, because he was not supposed to win. So by him winning, it showed that there is hope that we can actually take back the government and the country and essentially the world, because if America goes down, so does the rest of the world, since the US dollar is the number one currency in the world, and people forget that. I have friends that when they leave America and they're tourists in Japan or China or Australia or any other socialist country, they start talking smack about America and how, oh my God, everything's so cheap over there. Oh, maybe because you're going in with US dollar. Like, hello, obviously things are going to be cheap. You're an American going in with American money, and obviously the dollar there goes way further. So of course you're going to freaking say that it's so much better to live in this country. But it's, at the end of the day, the US dollar is the number one currency for a reason, because we are still the strongest country financially and militarily, even though that can be debated right now. But culturally, we're extremely rotten, and we need to clean house when it comes to our culture and when it comes to our politics as well. And that's why I genuinely believe that when Trump won, it woke up a lot of people from this dream that we were having of this, like, oh, you know, we're just gonna survive and just, you know, that's all we can do because the system is rigged. And by him winning, we realized, okay, you know what? Maybe the system isn't totally rigged, because if it was totally rigged, he wouldn't have won. So I want to move from establishment versus anti-establishment to, I said I can't really bring this up to, can I? Is this no, yeah, I can. All right, so establishment versus anti-establishment. This is a perfect example of that. California lawmakers tried giving loans to illegal immigrants. Gavin Newsom actually stopped it. Can you put that up? Politico is a leftist, mainly leftist channel, but you know, because it's leftist and they are saying what actually happened, I was surprised. So I was like, yeah, why not? We'll add this. So this is wild. So what can you go down really quick? What was the amount that they were trying to give illegals here? I think it was like 150,000. Okay, yeah. So 150,000. So let's read this here. Democratic lawmakers sought to frame the bill as one of fairness, saying it simply clarified that undocumented immigrants can apply for existing home loan programs run by the California Housing Finance Agency. One program called California Dream for All, which, by the way, Pelosi talks about that in Bill Maher. That I'm going to say what she said. That was wild. She openly said that she wants illegals to be legal. It's specifically geared toward first-time, first-generation home buyers and provides 20% in down payment assistance up to $150,000. So I want to give you guys some perspective here. This money is taxpayer money. This is not taxpayer money of California. This is federal taxpayer funding, meaning the country as a whole, the citizens of the country paying for taxes, are the ones contributing to them wanting to give illegal immigrants $150 down to buy a home. So there's a video of Bill Maher and Pelosi, which also dropped this week. So many things happened this week. Crazy. So Bill Maher is pretty much, even though this guy's a leftist, and even though he's realizing that the left has gone like super like commie, even though to me that they've always been, but now they're openly commie. He is pressing Pelosi on this bill. She's saying that she doesn't know anything about the bill, which is BS, but whatever. That's all they do is lie. And then she admits that she wants to make illegals legals because she thinks they deserve the American dream. Essentially, is what she said. You can obviously look at it yourself, but I'm giving you a summary of the video since YouTube doesn't allow me to show it to you guys. So Pelosi is a Democrat.
Maybe the stuff with Kamala we might be able to see as long as it's like a news media outlet and not like a personal YouTube. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, we'll find out because the Kamala video's there, so we'll find out if we can do that. But what I'm talking about is with Bill Maher, and they're not gonna allow you to post that up. It's gonna be the same thing as the rest.
Okay.
So she has openly said already that she wants illegals to have the American dream. Okay, what about Americans? Americans right now, I can't buy a house right now, and I'm 28 years old, and I've been American since I was 17. So what are you talking about? How are you going to allow people that just got here to buy a house when people that have degrees can't even afford to pay rent, bro? So to me, this shows how Marxist they are. That they can care less about the American who's been here for a long ass time, who's been surviving, who's been just trying to make it happen for themselves. And then people that just come here illegally, you just get like a silver spoon. And it's like, no, you don't get a silver spoon. That's why Gavin Newsom vetoed it, which I'm actually surprised. But at the same time, you know, perhaps maybe he wants to run for president in the future, so he can't freaking be super left because look at what's going on with Kamala. She was supposed to have a bump in the polls after that terrible soft interview with Dana Bash, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen for a reason, because you can't try to run the country being super left, because it just doesn't work. This country was founded on entrepreneurs and business and capitalism, and that's the enemy of the socialist Marxist ideology. So because I brought up California's try to be socialist bill, Gavin Newsom vetoed it because Republicans in Congress literally told him, yo, we can't allow this to happen because we have veterans on the streets. And he was like, damn, you know, they're right. So he vetoed it. But I don't know. If it wasn't for them bringing that super logical argument up, he probably wouldn't have. That's my opinion, though. Because at the end of the day, he's the reason why there's so many people on the street. He's the reason why there's so many addicts on the street. He's the reason why they've allowed San Francisco to go down the drains. So I only think he vetoed it because he's trying to look for a more powerful position later on, not because he actually gives a shit about Americans and them not being able to buy homes. So because we're talking about the economy, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Kamala talking about opportunity economy and price control. See if you can get this video up. Try. If you can't, it's okay because we have...
This one right here?
Yep. 1233.
1233.
Yes.
What is it? 2351. What's that?
More than 100.
I don't know. Just put 1233.
1233.
Yes. 1233 to 1249. I just want people to see it because, you know, I don't want to be the girl who cried wolf. Like she sounds Marxist, you know. People need to hear the truth.
To move past the bitterness, cynicism, and divisive battles of the past, a chance to chart a new way forward.
Just trying to be Obama right now.
Not
Oh, look,
not
Pelosi and
as
Gavin.
members
Look
of
at that.
any one party or faction, but as Americans. And let me say, I know there are people of various political views watching tonight, and I want you to know, I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust me to put country above party and self.
It's a liar. She's such
To
a liar.
hold sacred America's fundamental principles.
She doesn't know anything about the
from
principles
rule
of America.
Law to free and fair elections, to the peaceful transfer of power.
She's talking about, yeah. We all know she's talking about January 6th. So that's 1249?
I will be a
Pass.
Why isn't it showing up? That's
1338. That's where we're at right now.
what on earth? I wanted her to bring up, is that the same video I sent you?
Yeah.
What? That's not it. So what she says, that she wants to have a opportunity economy.
Hold on. Little technical difficulties here.
What's going on?
No signal here. What happened?
Is this not on?
Yo, what happened with the phone? It's charging. Talk.
Hello, hello.
No, I mean, talk to the people.
Oh, okay. I don't know about if I'm live. You're saying technical difficulties. I need you to be more specific.
No, you're live.
Okay.
The camera just not working.
So they can't see me is what you're saying.
Yeah, they can't see you.
Wow, I think it's because I'm talking so hard truths right now that the technology is kind of going against me.
The camera's on.
The camera's on. Guys, this will get better as time goes by.
And it says you're alive too. It's so weird. It's weird because it was fine up until I put this.
So it's because the video, so you can't put any videos.
But that has nothing to do with our equipment though. It's weird. It says you're still alive. Right now. As we speak.
But they can't see me, so it's not the same thing.
It's so strange. It shouldn't be a thing.
Oh, man. Technical difficulties.
No signal. What? Why? Did the camera die? How?
Am I still alive?
You're still alive. But the camera just like stopped. What the fuck? And it has battery.
Yo.
Full battery.
They hacked the camera, bro.
That's weird.
They went in the camera and said, this girl must get shut down before she grows. And we're back? We're back? Yes, we're back. All right, no more videos, please. We don't need any more interruptions. There's already been like 3 of them. No more. Kamala Harris is a commie, guys. She was talking about opportunity economy, where everybody has a right to succeed. And she talked about price gouging, which is like controlling the market, controlling specifically groceries. So there's a article that I want you to put up there. It's
Which one?
uschambers.com.
uschambers.com. What's it talking about?
Her price control commie economy. All right, so this is a government website, by the way. All right, this is not like any news outlet. This is a government website. It's the Chambers. I want you to go down. So I'm gonna open it myself here the way I can share with you guys. So go all the way down to where it says the little price spiked around the pandemic. Go all the way down. Down, down, down. You're going to see it. It's a graph. There you go. Okay. So you see where it says here, number 1, President Biden wrongly blames high prices on cargo companies. So they started blaming, so this is in 2022. Things were getting expensive already at that time, and they were pretty much blaming it on companies when they shut everything down. And then yet, because they shut everything down, it's hard to blame themselves for the reason why things are more expensive. Let's just blame the companies that followed our instructions. Then we have White House wrongly tries to blame meat prices and industry concentrations. So once again, they're blaming, so meat went up in price. If you guys haven't gone to the grocery stores, meat is extremely expensive right now. How much was the meat before you saw it on a deal in Winn-Dixie?
How much was the meat? It was for a skirt steak. It was like $38.
And that was on sale.
No, that was before it was on sale. On sale, it was $19.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
30, how much?
$38.
$38 in Winn-Dixie. We're not talking about Publix. Publix was probably 40, 50
Probably
bucks.
still the same price.
Whole Foods is probably around the same price. So he's blaming these meat companies for making their prices more expensive. However, when you force companies to shut down for long periods of time, what do you think is going to happen to the economy long term? So when you go all the way down, number 3, the president incorrectly blames high gas prices on oil company profits. Again, because obviously gas prices went up, they're blaming the oil companies because the gas prices went up. So what I'm seeing with this administration is that they love to play the blame game on big companies. Oh, it's your fault. You guys are these greedy pigs. You guys just want to make money, and that's why everything's so expensive. And it's like, no, bro. It's because of you. It's because of all the restrictions you've put on companies. It's because of the fact that you shut everything down for 2 years. Thankfully, Florida wasn't one of those states that was shut down for a long time. But there were states like California that was shut down for over a year. So what do you think is going to happen to restaurants, for example? If people can't go and eat there, they're going to lose business. If you're a big corporation, you're going to have to spike up your prices to be able to make up for profits. At least that's what I would do if I were a big corporation. It only makes sense. If you're forcing my consumers to not consume because you're forcing them to stay home, what do you think is going to happen to the economy long term? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of common sense. Like, you don't have to be this, like, a Harvard graduate economist to understand that shutting the economy down because of the pandemic was not a smart idea. And blaming companies because prices have skyrocketed is not wise either, because it shows weakness. It shows that you lack accountability and that you can't fathom that maybe it was your fault why we're going through this right now. If you guys want to look more into it, we are going to be putting all the links down below, including the videos that we unfortunately couldn't put on screen. I would assume the more following we get, the more, I don't know, maybe they give us more slack on posting videos because other people can do it. So I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's because of the subscribers, not for anything else, because I've seen other YouTubers do it. So I want to move on to this other, another article. This is not really an article. This is on wikipedia.org. The Inflation Act was actually a climate change bill. I actually dropped a reels on Instagram talking about this. So post that up real quick. All right. So I'm going to have this up myself. This is rich right here. This is rich. This is, I don't even know. I'm out of words here. When I read this, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. Let me see if I can find the numbers here. Where are they? Let me go all the way down here where I found the numbers of how much money they spent on this bill. So they started this bill and they called it the Inflation Reduction Act. However, the Inflation Reduction Act had nothing to do with inflation and everything to do with climate change. So I'm going to read to you really quick what it says here in one of these paragraphs. According to the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office and Joint Committee on Taxation, the law will raise $738 billion from tax reform and prescription drug reform to lower prices, as well as authorize $891 billion in total spending. Bro. Yo, do you understand? $891 billion in total spending, including, this is the rich part, including $783 billion on energy and climate change. So the majority of it is on climate change, not on inflation at all. So this is what they're saying. In 3 years of Affordable Care Act subsidies, it represents the largest investment toward addressing climate change. It's not an investment, it's wasteful spending, but all right. United States history. It also includes a large expansion of the Internal Revenue Service, which is the IRS. So expanding the IRS, the way we can get taxed some more, including the hire up of to 87,000 new employees that we have to pay for. We have to pay their salaries. Yeah. So so everything's high in price, and they expanded the IRS. That way they can go after people that quote unquote aren't paying their fair share of taxes. And they claim it's to attack the rich, which that's always a lie. Because when you attack the rich, the people that get screwed over are the middle class. Always. The rich never lose. It's the middle class that lose every single time. And they know that. Because at the end of the day, if you look into Marxism and you read The Enemy, Karl Marx, he literally tells you he hates the bourgeoisie, or the bourgeoisie, however you want to say it. And that is the middle class. That's not the elites. That's not royalty. That is the middle class. He was obsessed with destroying the middle class society. And that's exactly what they plan on doing. That's why I have been saying for a long time, these people are not Democrats. They are Marxist. Because they don't actually care about what Democrats, quote unquote, cared about during Kennedy times. I think the people that are on the Kennedy vibe are the few. The majority of Democratic mentalities are progressives, and progressives are Marxist. A progressive, in case anybody doesn't know what a progressive is somebody who claims they're a part of the Democratic Party, and all they wish to do is to expand the federal government and force us to pay for more agencies. So, for example, making the IRS bigger, that's a progressive move right there. Expanding climate change, that's progressive. The fact that the federal government thinks that they should be in control of energy is progressive, because energy is supposed to be independent. Only independent people should be in charge of energy. It should be in charge of real estate, agriculture. These are things that the federal government should not be a part of. And yet they're trying to get their hands on it because, again, a Marxist, which is now considered a progressive, they want to control us by using the government. And they want to make us think that we are here to work for the government instead of the government is working for us. So I want to move on to another topic. And this has to do with livable wages. I don't know if you're going to be allowed to put this because this is on Facebook. And Mark, you know.
Yeah, I should be able to put it.
But we'll find out, At this point, it doesn't really matter.
In McDonald's, I was a student when I was working at McDonald's.
That's a lie. There's no proof that she was working at McDonald's.
On me to pay the rent, put food on the table, and keep the bills paid by the end of the month. But the reality of McDonald's is that a majority of the folks who are working there today are relying on that income to sustain a household and a family.
It's coming. The Marxism is coming. Here we go.
These golden arches being a symbol of the best of America. Well, the arches are falling short. And we have got to recognize that working people deserve livable wages. Working people deserve in these places to know that there will be a safe working environment.
All right, that's enough. I'm done with her Marxist bullshit. Livable wages. Yeah, you see, I'm telling you, it's because we're posting the video. But you know, I'm a risk taker. That's why I'm doing this and getting shadow banned. Even though I'm not even an influencer yet, bro. I haven't even hit 5K, and these people are already shutting me down. But you know what? That's okay.
Free from any physical harm, including sexual.
So what is livable wages? Honestly, like that right there shows, that's proof that she's a Marxist. What is livable wage? To me, anybody who believes that either you really live under a rock or you have no idea how basic economy works, did you not learn that in high school? I mean, I know that public school education isn't the best, but like, you know, there's certain things that are kind of common sense. Like, why on earth would you think that living off of McDonald's for the rest of your life is like the wise thing to do if you're trying to build a family? How does it make any sense? Like we have friends that are very left, and the reason why I have friends that are left is because I don't want to be living in an echo chamber where everybody agrees with everything. I don't want that. I want people to disagree with me, and I want to be able to debate them, challenge their views, and they challenge mine, etc. Because I believe that's what America's supposed to be, is a way to debate your viewpoints until we get to a common ground. And then obviously the audience and the market will decide who has a better viewpoint, because there's always going to be a better viewpoint. It's never going to be, oh, we agree to disagree. There's always going to be, yeah, this person makes more sense. Yeah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's always going to happen. That's why I think debating is essential, especially in this day and age. So we have a lot of friends that are very left, right? And I had a disagreement, debate, argument, whatever you want to call it. And they use that same terminology, livable wages. Oh, I think we should have livable wages. And I'm here like, what on earth is livable wage? What is a livable wage? First of all, the dollar is always changing over time. I mean, look at just in early 2000s to now, how much the dollar has changed. And you think that the mentality of a livable wage makes sense economically? It doesn't, because at the end of the day, the economy changes. It's like evolution. Like, when nobody thought that Bitcoin was going to be worth 63 million right now? Like, what is it on? And yet it is. People are making stupid money off of Bitcoin because the currency changes over time. So this idea of, oh, we need to live off of a livable wage. So what you're saying is you want the federal government to get involved in what private companies are paying their employees. That's what you're saying. That's essentially what she's saying, which is, by the way, fascism. Fascism is literally the federal government telling a private company what they can and cannot do. You're allowed to do this, but you're not allowed to do this. So are they really a private company at that point? No, they're not. I mean, Facebook is a prime example of that. The fact that he admitted that, yeah, we did collab with the Biden-Harris administration totally proves that they've been co-opted. What's that word that they like to use now when companies have been psyoped? There's another word for it that I'm trying to use. It's watch is gonna come in like super late.
What is it? Like, what?
Yeah, like when a company has been pretty much. I mean, I'm thinking psyoped, but the other word, I'm trying to think of another word. Colluding, I guess, is a word.
So I see what's going on.
What happened?
So the camera's getting hot. So the internal temperature gets hot, so it shuts down. I just saw it right now. The message.
So how would you cool that down?
That is a great question. I don't know why it's getting so hot. That didn't happen before in the last stream.
It didn't. I don't know.
Pretty strange.
I'm telling you, man.
Let's take it off the charge.
Yeah, maybe it is because it's charging. When we were going live last time, was it charging?
It was.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Back.
The video's back? Okay, cool. Well, I mean, we'll see.
So I guess we can't put videos. It's just the camera overheats.
So so you think we can't put videos?
We can put videos. We can do it, but certain videos it doesn't let us do. It'll give me a warning.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
we'll
right.
just kind of like tread lightly, right?
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. All right. So there's a video here that I don't know if we're gonna be allowed to put because it's Fox. You think? Okay. So just to kind of summarize on this before we move on to the next one, because this has nothing to do with what I was just talking about. Well, it does, but it doesn't. So establishment wants to take full control. Kamala Harris is part of the establishment. We got that. All right. We understand that this lady wants to control the market, and she believes that the federal government should dictate what private companies should be paying their employees, when she was pretty much talking about livable wages, whatever the hell that means. So I want to move on to her, I don't even know what you would call him, because his Tim Waltz. All right, so Tim Waltz is the VP, and they call him Tampon Tim because he wanted tampons in boys' bathrooms. I don't know why you would want tampons in boys' bathrooms. Yeah, that's the thing. He wanted tampons in boys' bathrooms. You guys can check that out. That very interesting stuff. I mean, this is a guy that not only wanted tampons in boys' bathrooms, he signed off a bill to, pretty much allow kids to transition without parental consent. So, he obviously is pro LGBTQ plus. Doesn't really care about parental choice at all. It's all about the kid's choice. Parents don't matter. So what I really want to talk about here is not really on the LGBTQ plus stuff. It's on his whole stolen valor stuff. So there's a video of him talking about how he used weapons of war in war. See if you can put that up. 24 to 28.
This one's about stolen falsely claims he carried weapons.
Yeah. That's it.
It's a minute long.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put 24 to 28. Go to 24.
24 seconds?
Yeah, 24 seconds. I only want the that little clip that he says that. That's all.
Weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
All right, so pause that. All right, so he was talking about how they shouldn't have weapons in school, and then you heard him say the weapons of war that I used in war. Is that not what he said?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure because I want to confirm it. Maybe I'm hearing things. So he said that, right? All right, so when Dana Bash questioned him about this, which is, by the way, the only thing she pressed them on was this, which is pathetic. Go to the next video, 53 to a minute and 5 seconds.
Which one?
The one right after.
Oh, okay, this one here.
It's the, yeah, there you go.
Said 53 seconds.
Yeah, 53 seconds. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic what he says. And this is somebody who served their country. Very unfortunate.
In this case, this was after a school shooting. The ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog.
All right, you can take it off.
I'm not.
All right, so you heard him. He said that and that was a grammar problem. What does it have to do with grammar? I have no idea. No idea. He knows exactly what he said, and now he made an excuse instead of just saying the truth. Yeah, I messed up. I shouldn't have said that because I never actually went to war. That's all you had to say, bro. Like, accountability, these people don't take accountability for anything they do and say in public. And that shows a shitty leader, a weak leader. If you can't be honest to the American people about, like, a simple mistake you said, all you had to say was, hey, man, I'm sorry. even though I did serve my country, I didn't actually go to war. Like, I shouldn't have said that. My bad. That's all you have to say instead of saying, yeah, you know, my wife says that I have a grammar problem. Like, what? Like, no, that's not. Just say the freaking truth. That's why we can't believe you, because you guys lie. And you guys, when you're caught in your lie, instead of you just admitting that you lied, you continue to lie. So why should we continue to believe you? I mean, the only people that believe you are the people that are either they have Trump derangement and they don't want to accept the fact that they are voting for a Marxist because they don't want Orange Man in because Orange Man is mean. You know, and that's all you really have is Orange Man mean. He's a racist. Whatever.
Orange Man mean.
Like, that's all you have. But when it comes to policies, what can you say that's going to say that these people are better than him when it comes to policies? You have no... Like, there's nothing you have that you can say policy related. So all you can say is insults. Oh, he's a rapist. He's sexist. Look at what he's done with women, which there's nothing behind it, but they're gonna continue to BS. I mean, the guy just went to court recently, and he was talking about the fact that, like, they're trying to get him to be guilty over something that he didn't do with a woman because she wrote a book about it, bro. Like, anybody at this moment in time, any woman can literally lie and say that they got raped and people will believe it just because of this BS right here. Literally, like, I honestly, it's hard right now it's hard to be a guy. Like, much as a guy with money, it's very hard because how do you know that the woman that you're with isn't going to take advantage of you? And that's sad. That's so unfortunate that we're going through this.
I think the dating scene is the worst it's ever been.
No, it definitely is the worst it's ever been. I mean, but that technology is unfortunately, like, you know.
It's only going to get worse?
It is only going to get worse.
That sucks.
But, I mean, it is what it is. I personally think that you just need to have patience and go out and actually meet people and stop trying to use these dating websites. Like, just go out and meet people like how we used to do in the old days. So, because I brought up the whole Tim Waltz thing because he was talking about shootings, and there was a shooting in Georgia recently where I believe 4 people passed away. Can you confirm that really quick? I think it was 4 people. I think it was 2 adults and 2 children, if I'm not mistaken. Georgia, yeah. I think it's Athens, Georgia, or the school is called Apache High School or something like that. Appalachian High School, something along those lines. That there was a shooting. The kid's name was Colt. What type of name is that? Colt. Like, I swear to God. I mean, he looks like he's part of a cult, to be honest with you.
Beard.
Yeah.
Cold grape.
So.
Oh, get him with the camera. You just keep talking.
Okay. So this guy, supposedly his father is the one who gave him the gun, and supposedly from the news that just broke out recently, the mother had told one of the counselors before anything had happened that something bad was going to happen. So she was warning the school, according to the new news that's coming out recently. So I don't really want to touch base on the school shooting because that's what they want us to do. So I'm not gonna touch on that. We all know that school shooting is bad and it shouldn't be happening. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because the Democrats are using that. Again, as always, they're always going to use some tragedy to try to control policy. So they're using this to, again, enforce the whole, like, let me take your guns away because, look, there's more shootings in more high schools. And J.D. Vance, who, unlike Tim Waltz, actually went to war. J.D. Vance, who is the VP of Donald Trump, there's a video of him, if you can put it up really quick. It's...
Speaking today...
Yeah. There it is. What he says is just, it's the truth, and they somehow like warped it. It's honestly, I give him props. They know how to warp anything people say. I think that's the only talent that these Marxists have. You ready?
At the Arizona Biltmore in Phoenix, here's what Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance had to say when he was asked what policies he would support to prevent school shootings in the wake of yesterday's massacre in Georgia.
Clearly, strict gun laws is not the thing that is going to solve this problem. What is going to solve this problem, and I really do believe this, is, look, I don't like this. I don't like to admit this. I don't like that this is a fact of life. But if you are a psycho and you want to make headlines, you realize that our schools are soft targets. And we have got to bolster security at our schools so that a person who walks through the front door We've got to bolster security so that if a psycho wants to walk through the front door and kill a bunch of children, they're not able to. And again, as a parent, do I want my kids' school to have additional security? No, of course I don't. I don't want my kids to go to school in a place where they feel like you've got to have additional security, but that is increasingly the reality that we live in.
Yep, that's it. We're good. All right, so the Democrats warped this, and they cut a good chunk of it out and literally said, and made it seem like he said, school shootings are a fact of life. Like, get over it. You know, it's been happening for some time, and it's just a matter of us just letting it just, you know, it's a fact of life. It's just how it is now, you know, we just have to deal with it. And that's what they made it seem like, when that's not what he said. As you clearly saw, he literally said, I don't like that this is a fact of life. You know, and it's true. Like, it's shitty. It sucks that we have to go through this. But at the end of the day, the taxpayers are the ones paying for public education, guys. Public education is not free. We are paying for it. In fact, the last time I checked, we're paying $13,000 per child to go to a public school. That's why charter schools are destroying you guys, because you guys are literally like, just, I don't even know how can you tell like parents, yeah, you gotta pay me 10 G's or more, and at the same time you can't do something as simple as fund the school in a way where there is actual security. I remember when I was in middle school, you had kids coming in with knives. All right, you had kids coming in with drugs. In high school, it's the same thing. And it's like, just because it's a public school doesn't give the principal the excuse, or the Board of Education, better said, the excuse to not actually secure the school and to not allow this to even happen. Why are kids bringing weapons to school? Maybe because there's not enough security for that for that to be not a thing. Like, I personally would have preferred my school to have been more secured when I was growing up. That way we wouldn't have that many fights. That way I didn't have to see like people snorting coke when I was in 7th and 8th grade. Like, thank God I wasn't stupid enough to follow their lead. But it's the fact that I shouldn't have even had to have seen that at that age if they cared enough to actually secure the school. So what he's saying is 100% true. In fact, when Vivek was running for president, he even said, if you were to actually cut the budget of what a lot of spending that we do with different agencies that are not really needed, we could actually fund every public education when it comes to security. Like, we have the funds. I mean, if you can spend $800 billion on a climate change bill, you mean to tell me you can't fund public schools to be more secure? That way we can avoid, it's a deterrent. It's not like if a psychopathic person that wants to kill children knows that there's gonna be a I don't know, let's say 5-10 police security guards in schools, 8 out of 10 they're gonna be like, yeah, maybe it's not a good idea to freaking go and like attack the school because now it's guarded. You know, I don't understand how you can warp this and make it seem like what he's saying is, oh, who cares? Like, let's just get over it. Like, it's been happening for a long time, so it is what it is. And that's not what he says. He literally said, well, maybe we need to start funding the fact that schools are not protected and they're vulnerable. We need to fund them. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like, but the idea of removing guns is not the way, because like what happened in where in Europe is it that there are no guns? It's the UK, right?
Yeah, the UK.
So in the UK, you can't own a gun, but they have a knife problem. Everybody's getting stabbed everywhere. So
We're throwing acid at each other.
yeah, so like it's other countries have proven that removing guns is
because the cops don't have guns either.
exactly. So it's like then they're not cops.
You gotta use batons.
Exactly. So they're not cops.
Pepper spray.
Like it's just no. I'm sorry. I personally think the Second Amendment is there to protect all our rights. And if people really think that the Second Amendment has to do with hunting, it's very ignorant. If you read the Second Amendment, it literally says it's against tyranny. Okay.
All right, we gotta start wrapping up. The camera's shutting down a lot.
It's getting too hot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're almost done. All right. We're doing one more. And we're done for now until next Sunday. We have to figure out what's going on with the camera, why it's heating up.
It's too hot in here.
Oh, you think that's that's probably what it is too.
It's shutting down, like it's like not gonna turn on. I don't want it to break. Just keep talking.
Okay, cool. All right. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is about the fact that a lot of people believe that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have been balanced for a long time. I had an argument with friends of mine who believe, again, voting doesn't matter because, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be Republican one year and Democrat another year, and it's always been balanced. But that's because people are ignorant to the fact that for years, it's been the establishment taking control of the political parties. And for once, they do not have control over what is now the new Republican Party, which we now call the MAGA Party. Donald Trump created a whole new party for the Republican Party because the Republican Party back then were neocons. And if you guys don't know what neocons are, a neocon is somebody who is pro-war and they want to make the military-industrial complex more powerful. And of course, they want to continue funding more wars across the country. So what I want to show you guys, I don't know if you can put this up. It's not a video. It's the last thing, rollingstone.com. I want to show you guys how many Republicans are endorsing Kamala Harris, because this shows you that it's not Democrat versus Republican. It is liberty versus authoritarianism. Look at how many, scroll all the way down. I want everybody to see how many people so far, keep going. It should show, why isn't it not showing? Why is it that when it's on the PC, it's like, doesn't...
wants me to subscribe to get the whole story.
Bruh.
Rolling Stone. What do you
Unbelievable. It's only on the PC why it does that. It doesn't do it on my tablet. All right. So this, it's doing it to me now too. It wasn't doing it to me before. All right. Really quick. Can you Google how many Republicans have endorsed Kamala Harris? It's a couple. Because this shows that it's not Democrat versus Republican. Because all these Republicans that are endorsing Kamala Harris are endorsing her because they are not MAGA. They're not for the people. They are for the establishment. They are for the military-industrial complex. They make a shit ton of money off of war. I mean, we haven't stopped going through war. How long has it been already? We started in World War I. Ever since World War I, we have not stopped fighting in a war because they make money off of it. There's so much money off of war that it's ridiculous. And that's not only the best part. The best part is that we overspend on our weapons than any other country. So they're wasting our taxpayer money on literally like buying, let's say like a gun let's say this tank is like, I don't know. Let's say the tank is like 50 mil and they bought it for 100 mil. Just because. Like, why? Why are you overspending our tax dollars? And they've been doing that for a long ass time. And it's not in their best interest for somebody like Trump or somebody else that's anti-establishment, like RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek. These are people that are not pro-war. They understand that there needs to be a military, right, for defense. But at the same time, we're not defending our own country, because if that was the case, then we wouldn't have millions of people crossing through the border illegally if we really were using our military for what it's meant to be used for. So what they actually want is they want to pretty much police the other countries. And that's why there's so many countries that hate America. It's because of that same reason, because we've created this police state in the world when that's not what we were supposed to do. We're supposed to all just like be diplomatic, but we're not supposed to be forcing our views on any other country.
I think I found it.
Oh, you found it?
I think so. So as other prominent figures in the Republicans for Harris program include, and then there's other former GOP Congress members who endorsed Harris include.
Can you just count really quick how many of those are?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16.
16. All right, and that's just for now. But those 16 Republicans are all neocons, and the only reason why they are endorsing Kamala Harris is because it's in their favor for her to win, because nothing will change if she wins. Nothing will change, and things will only get worse. So I'm so sorry for the really bad technological issues we were having, especially because we were so prepped for this podcast. It's okay. Things happen. Things will be better as we continue to do this. This is practice makes progress. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. I will be posting all of this on the caption in the bottom. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Once again, follow me on Instagram. You're going to see all the latest stuff there before every Sunday. That's Mary_Truths. Stay being honest. Speak up. Don't be afraid to be yourself. See you guys next time.